What's up, guys? I am here with Jodie Ray Charity, and I just picked up this absolutely beautiful piece of the Mortis gods, coming soon to Ahsoka, possibly. We're going to see if she knows any information. So you've created 7 different pieces for Lucasfilm.
Yes.
Do you want to just tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so the pieces are put out by Acme Archives, who have a license with Lucasfilm, and everything gets approved, by Lucasfilm in the end. And the way it works is like you'll come up with a concept of something you might want to do and submit it to them, and they'll tell you if they're interested or not interested. And then you work on the piece to fruition, and that gets approved by Acme Archives, and then goes to Lucasfilm for approval, and then it gets released as a limited edition print set.
So I know you were mentioning earlier that you had a piece from Star Wars Celebration. So the release window just closes and you can no longer sell that? Is that the way it works?
That's correct. For Star Wars Celebration, it's limited to the event. So I think there is 250 as well, but you have to get it at Star Wars Celebration. However, the other 6 pieces I have, you can get until they sell out.
Yeah, so now this piece, so did they come to you and tell you what they wanted, or is this like your idea, or how? Like, I'm just trying to get a gist of how it works.
Like I had said at the beginning, it's your idea. Generally you'll come up with a concept. Sometimes I'll submit like 3 or 4 concepts. I'll be like, are you interested in this, or this? And a lot of the times the answer is no, we're not interested. This is a special case because I had this one almost finished, and I just really hoped that they liked it, and they did. So.
Well, I mean, the rumors are in Ahsoka Season 2 that we may be seeing some of these characters, and they were originally in the Clone Wars, one of my favorite arcs of all. And do you have any hidden information?
I don't. You know how they are.
Yeah, I know.
Nobody knows anything.
I gotta try, right? I gotta try.
I'm a big Rebels fan. I have a couple of Rebels pieces, and that's always been, my kind of passion. I love Clone Wars, but maybe Rebels is a little bit of an edge for me. But the Mortis arc for me is like such good storytelling and so visually rich that I really always wanted to do that.
Yeah, I agree 100%. I lean more toward Rebels as well. Although, I do. I really do. And most people are definitely the other way.
Yeah,
so.
they are. That's why I said that with some hesitation.
So my final question is, so I picked up the artist proof, and I have number 2.
Yes.
And the reason why she has number 1 signed by Ashley, James, and Matt. So I'm going to probably get that signed too. But explain to me and the audience, what exactly does artist proof mean?
So an artist proof can mean a couple of things, but in the case of this, it's just a limited grouping that they put out. I believe it's numbered up to 25 of them, but I only have 10 of each, and so they're definitely harder to come by. They're more exclusive. The resale value on them is more, and sometimes they're a little bit different than the actual ones.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of looking to see.
I think in this, they look the same. It's more about the numbering and the value for the artist proof.
Because I was wondering, like, it had anything to do with like the coloring, or just like a couple lines here or there, or not really?
It can vary. In the case of this, it's more just about the exclusivity of it. But in terms of like Star Wars Celebration art, for example, we'll put artist proof on something that is not for sale. That's something that goes to maybe Ashley X team as a gift or something. So it depends a little bit. This one piece I have, the one in the middle, the artist proof looks a little bit different. They were probably run first, and they're both really cool. But,
so most of the time it's going to be the same finished product.
Yeah.
Pretty much. All right, well, guys, check her out over on Instagram. You want to give a quick shout out to your Instagram page?
Yeah, sure. I'm at Jodie Ray Prince on Instagram, and you can get any of my officially licensed Star Wars stuff at Acme Archives, Dark Art Inc., and a couple of other places.
All right, and you guys can also check out the link down below. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Nice to
Thank
meet
you.
you.
Thank you.
That's a nice way to start a Friday, Sigourney, right?
And thank you for that very lovely introduction.
Well, every word was heartfelt. You really have brought so much joy to all of us. Congratulations on everything. Let's talk, first of all, just like the space you occupy truly in the genre world especially. Is that something you fully embraced from the start? Is it something you wrestled with? I mean, Alien obviously really set you down a path, but it does feel like, you know, some actors would run away from that, but you've kind of embraced these roles in the genre world.
You know, I'm an English major, so I just read for the story. If it's a good story, I don't care what genre it's in. I never really thought about genres. Now, I just thought of good stories, and now genres are a much more well-defined thing. But I'm glad I didn't really think about it. I'm glad I followed this story.
That being said, let's start with Alien. That story, that script, the legend is you didn't necessarily love the script at first, that you had some notes, some thoughts. Is that fair to say?
Well, I thought it was a very concise script, 10 little Indians, you know, knocking them off one by one. If you don't know what the alien design is, it's very hard to understand what this monster is running around dripping acid. So I kind of didn't have any idea of the rather beautiful exotic creature that the alien was till I met Ridley at the sort of audition, and he brought out these incredible pictures from Giger and from Carlo Rambaldi, and I realized I'd never seen anything like that in a movie ever, and that I think was that and Ridley sort of cinched the deal, you know.
It's interesting, you're seductively saying, "Are you the keymaster?"
I probably have. But you know, I didn't realize till I think Ivan did one of those 30 years later things. I didn't realize that when I went for the audition, and being a theater actor, when I read that Dana turns into a dog, that's how I read it. And when I got to the audition with Ivan Reitman, once I got to the end of that scene, I did then, you know, grab cushions in my teeth and do some howling. Well, first of all, he said, "Don't ever do that again." He said, "It's so grotesque. An editor will want to use it." But what I didn't know is he then called Harold Ramis and said, "You know, Sigourney Weaver just came in and read for Dana, and she turned into the dog. Why don't we think about making that the story?" And so to find out that 30 years later, and I couldn't imagine. I actually was disappointed that I actually had to turn into a special effect. I was prepared to play the dog. But I got a call from Jon Favreau, who I'm a great admirer of, and we talked, and he said, "Just start watching the show." And I was, of course, amazed by it and fell in love with it, and Pedro and Grogu, also I love how the Star Wars universe it's not trying to pay off each movie with the whole backlog of movies. It's now, individual stories set in the same universe. Ours is set in the Outer Rim. So I was thrilled. I was only on the set for a few days, but I was surrounded by all kinds of different creatures. I got a drink from someone with a very different kind of head than I have.
Don't talk about Pedro Pascal that way. What? So you get to work with both Pedro and Grogu. Quality time with Mandalorian and Grogu?
You know, I'm the luckiest girl in the world.
Also lucky, I mean, to see you in that iconic costume, like the X-Wing pilot costume. Again, who would have thunk it? Amazing.
Not I, yeah. It was a whole new world, so I feel very fortunate that I got to do that.
He's also contributed so much, not only to Alien, but to the entire genre, from The Birds, Witches of Eastwick, so much more. Please give a warm welcome to the one and only Veronica Cartwright. Thank you so much for joining us. What a treat.
Thank you so much for inviting me.
It's very cool.
Have you guys seen each other in the last 40 years?
Yes, we've seen each other a couple of times, a few times.
Yeah.
But it has been a while. So.
Well, sometimes the cast of Aliens will get together at Calgary. I think we did that, and but this is, this is very unusual, and so it's really cool.
Yeah.
It's a special treat.
Women.
It's a special treat for all of us. Veronica, I'd love to get your perspective on some of what we discussed, because again, nobody really knew what Alien was going to be. I've heard you talk about it like, oh, this is a B movie. This is a job, and it's a B movie. Is that fair to say what your attitude was at the time on set, or?
Well, I don't think what Ridley did was cast people that were not like superstars or movie stars. He cast really good people, because what Ridley likes to do is do the scenery and all of the stuff to make sure that it all looks perfect. And he got really competent and great actors together so that we could, he didn't have to worry about us. And so it was great. I mean, I must say, you brought up the first thing of Kane letting us into the shuttle without being, do we keep you apart, do you not? And I come in, and of course, I'm so upset. Well, it's in the director's cut, but it's not in the main movie. And I went to slap Sigourney across the face because she was a bitch for not letting us in. Well, every time I went to slap Sigourney, she ducked. So Ridley comes over.
No, I think you got me a couple of good.
No, but because Ridley
in
comes
the movie?
in the director's cut, not in the first cut.
Nice.
So Ridley comes over to me and he goes, "Would you just fucking get her this time?" I said, "Well, okay." So I go like that, you duck, and I backhanded you. You were not a happy camper, but the pearl that she is, she's stuck with it.
Give it up for Jason Blum!
What's up, everybody? You ready to get something? You ready to be scared, everybody?
Yeah!
Ready for some horror? Woo! So am I. I can't wait. Let's settle in. Freddy's 3. We gotta get 2 first.
Wow. Madeline McGraw. Miguel Mora. Damian Busher.
guys.
Oh my God.
Welcome, guys. Welcome.
MDC.
There is so many people here. The grabber himself, the iconic Ethan Hawke! You begin louder now, let's go! I thought you were going to introduce me as the grabber, man. I want to be known as the grabber.
You are only the grabber right now, buddy.
That's right.
All right, guys. How are you guys feeling, by the way?
I feel really excited. I didn't know there was this many people in here. So this is
Me neither, actually.
This is a lot.
This is huge.
Thank you for being here, everybody. It's great to see you.
All right, Jason. Let's start with you. Why did you want to make a sequel of The Black Phone?
Well, it's a great question, and what really inspired me to make a sequel is the great Scott Derrickson, who I got a very happy phone call 2 or 3 months after the first movie came out, and he said, you know, I've been thinking about this, and I've been thinking about this, and I think 2 things. He said, I think there's a much bigger story to tell and a much bigger universe in Black Phone. That's the first thing that he said. And the second thing he said, which I thought, and I think you guys will all agree, is that the grabber is kind of building in excitement and specialness and horribleness and evilness in a way that he can't be through in one movie. So when he said that, I said, well, we'd love to make a second one and get writing, and he did, and that's the movie you guys will very soon see.
Let's go!
Back on again. It was absolutely terrifying, is what it was. No, I felt like Jason was just saying. Scott called me up. I remember I had about 2 hours to kill in an airport. My phone rang. It was a black phone, by the way. And Scott said, I really have an idea for a sequel. And I paced the airport for about an hour as he kind of described what this movie is. And it was breathtaking. Just the dream of the movie, everything that it was. I was like, all right, well, if that's the sequel, let's make a sequel. Because he clearly had more to say about all these characters, and he had something to offer, and he wasn't done with it. His imagination was still spinning around with it. So when I got to put the mask back on again, it felt kind of like a victory of sorts. That this little film that had started so long ago was turning into something bigger than any one of us.
Yeah.
Is getting this shirt. Everyone! Let's go! We're getting this shirt. All right? It's a gift for you guys.
That's all she sees or thinks about is 5 minutes. It's incredible. You're the
Some of you are
embodiment.
in the same boat.
I think that's true.
But they can't. You guys, this is what it's like being on set. You're experiencing it right now.
All right, Emma, I have a question for you.
Okay.
Emma, tell us what's new about Five Nights at Freddy's 2.
Well, there's a bunch more animatronics, as I think some of you already know. You're getting a preview of 2 of them right now, Toy Freddy and Toy Bonnie. We've got some new human cast members as well, and earlier this year in San Diego, we were able to do a panel with a bunch of the cast, but there was a cast member who's actually based in New York who was really sad to miss it. So I'd love to bring out the lovely Elizabeth Lale to